Hey guys, welcome back. Video 2 of the Iris 1.05 fronty build. Okay, oh yeah, I just spotted that's the wrong way around. Okay, yeah, as you can see, let me just swap this around because I built this wrong. I did wonder why it didn't go in quite nicely. Now I know. As you can see, I'm getting a bit handy with this cart. We've yeah, been building all evening, all afternoon. Okay, here we go. Right, as you can see, it's getting fairly complete now. The drive shafts are in. I do have to say though, it's every manufacturer is the same. They all use these little tiny C-clips on the ball bearings. And I don't know why they don't pre-assemble them in the factories. They're a pain in the butt. They're all the same. The Mugen was the same. Automatics use the same system. Please, guys. I'm 46 years old. My eyes are crap. I wear reading glasses to work on it. Oh, there's a lot of them. There is a lot of spares in the kit, luckily. I think I lost 4. So I managed to get them completed, and it's all built, it's put together. The rear end is also put together now nicely. Any problems? No, not really. The drive shafts obviously were a pain in the butt. I've got a little bit of axial play here that if I can find my shims, I'm going to put a 0.1mm shim in, just in there, just to take that play out. I got 5 4mm wheel hexes. There's a little plastic clip that holds the wheel hex on here, and tip is just because they're really difficult to push on, so I've got the spare wheel hex and I just put it on over the clip, and you push really hard and click, it clips in. If anyone else has got a tip for that, let me know. Yeah, as you can see, everything's working as it should do. The suspension's nice and free. The suspension arms took a little bit of work to get them through the brass bits, and what I noticed, I don't have a problem with the 0.25 ones, but the option 0.75, there's very little thread in here. So if you want the roll center really low, the screws, the little grub screws, here they are, they have a little tiny point on them, and because of that point they wouldn't start in the threads. So what I've done is I've taken my Dremel and I've taken the little bit of the, let me show you, a little bit of that point off. I've taken it all the way down to the threads, and then you can get it in. Be careful, please. You can strip it very easily. The 0.25s up and down, there's enough thread in there to not cause an issue. So, but with the setup sheet I'm using, I've got the pins really low to start with. Obviously that'll give me a lot more grip at the front. I'm going to see how that goes. Yeah, the rest of it is kit. I've used the standard titanium screw ball joints here and here. I do have the 0.75 higher, but I didn't use them yet. Just keep an eye out on the instructions when you're building these ones. The steering arms, they go on the underneath on the front, and they go on the top at the rear. When I first built it, I built it upside down, so I've had to take these off and swap them around. Yeah, just keep an eye out how the steering system works. Yeah, that's probably video 2 for now. it's going really well. I'm really enjoying the build. Obviously, I've got the 1.4 stabby at the rear, 1.0 at the front, so it's just a little bit thinner. What I've done is I've put the grub screws facing outwards this way, because when I built them upwards, the stabby wouldn't turn fully all the way around. And I found if I turn them this way, I had the same thing with the Mugen. If you turn them sideways, because of the way they're made, so they can slide on, there is a little bit where it can go around the corner. And if you have them that way around, they can go bent, so it locks up in the bearing. And if you do it this way, it just locks them up a little bit less. You have to be careful still not to over tighten them, just make sure that everything works freely, you know, everything's nice and light. It did take some reaming in the plastic bushes for the suspension arms, but also in here the pin didn't want to go through, so I just pushed my reamer through a few times, and it's obviously machining tolerances. Other than that, it's going really well. What I did notice as well is some of the team drivers have already said don't use shims on the suspension arms. Iris does do the open shims, but what I've heard is if you want like 2.3 millimeters and you've only got 2 millimeter or 2.5 mil, you can't quite get it there, and the shim's loose and it falls off anyway. So I chose not to put shims on them. What is important is at the moment there is no way of measuring the caster. So what you need to do is use the vernier pliers when you're measuring the camber, and make sure the front and the rear are exactly the same, and it'll give you the caster. I have ordered a caster gauge from Mike Reinhard, MR33. That's coming, and that's actually a camber gauge for buggies, and what it does is it will sit on the floor like that, and then you can move it and it will give you how many degrees of camber you have. But obviously if you measure it from the upper and the lower arm on this pin, it will also give you a caster angle. Yeah, and also at the front here you can measure the caster angle by putting it on the suspension arm here and here, and you get a degrees of how much caster you've got through the front pin. Yeah, with the Mugen and the automatics, they have an extra hole here, and you clip something over the ring and then you screw it into here. Obviously we don't have that yet. I do believe Andreas is probably working on something now to measure the caster so we can adjust it. So, but yeah, that's the only thing at the moment. But we'll see that when I get the setup gauges on, and I'll see if I can. I've got the Mugen ones here. These are the RC Maker things, and obviously you clip it over the shim, yeah, and then you screw a screw into it to allow you to measure the caster. I'm obviously missing a screw here, so that won't measure, and yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work. So yeah, we'll see. Something will come out. I'll figure it out. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to carry on with building. Sorry, but Dutch. Now it's the shocks, and I'm going to build the rear shocks with the progressive springs in. The front isn't necessary apparently, so not for the fronty. So that's a bit different to every other car that I've worked on, where normally you have progressive at the front and standard at the rear. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.